expressions and leave the answer in index form. Let's look at this, one of the simplest examples. Example 1. Here you go. You've got two numbers. For instance, 12 to the power of 3. And then you're going to times that by 12 to the power of 5. Now, this is what you do. Both the numbers, technically it's called the bases, are the same. So my answer is going to be 12 to some power. And guess how you work out the power? You add these two. So it's going to be 12 to the power of 8. Example 2. What about if it's letters? X to the power of 9 times x to the power of 4. What does that equal? It equals x, because the base, the things that are being multiplied are the same. But the power, well, you get that by adding these two. So it's going to be x to the power of 13. Example 3. But what about division? Here you go. 5 to the power of 7 divided by 5 to the power of 4. Well, your answer is going to be, because the bases are the same, 5 to some power. But because you're dividing, because you're dividing, instead of adding the powers, you take them away. 7 take away 4 is 3. See that once more. So copy down, boys and girls. Example 4. Y to the power of 3 divided by, remember this, that's the other way of showing divide, to show it as a fraction, y to the power of 5. So my answer is going to be y to some power, because the bases are the same. But when you divide, you subtract the powers. But this is a tricky one. What is 3 take away 5? The answer is minus 2. Right. Put your hands down, boys and girls. This is an example of how to do it, so I don't need, unless I specifically say so, your contribution. And then example 5 is the weirdest one. Here you go. 7 to the power 3 in a bracket, all raised to the power of 2. What does that mean? Well, that means 7 to the power of 3 times 7 to the power of 3. Why have I written out 7 to the power of 3 twice? Because the bracket, talking about this thing here, was squared. So these would appear 2 times. So I get 7 to the power of 6. Go through one more example, hopefully explain the bracket a bit better. Here you go. We'll use a letter again. M to the power of 4, or to the power of 5. Well, I could, don't write this out, boys and girls, I could write out m to the power of 4 times 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 m to the power of 4. That is, I could write it out 5 times. And then add up the powers. 4 add 4 is 8, add 4, 12, add 16. That's right, add 4 is 16, add 4 is 20. But there's a far easier way. And this is what the method is. When you've got this within a bracket, instead of adding the 2 powers, This is the only one where you multiply them. So it's going to be m to the power of 4 times 5, 20. Okay.